Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we're gonna do this stitch. I think this stitch is nice to make a wrap, a blanket, a shawl if you like, even an infinity scarf or a scarf. The stitch itself is reversible. Only one row repeat. That's it. It's very nice. I don't know, they're like rose buds. Really nice. But I think it's, if you want to do this stitch, I think it's nice if you use either a thin yarn, or if you use this kind of yarn that it's a little bit thick, you can use a bigger crochet hook, maybe a number or two. If the yarn recommend, whatever, let's say the yarn recommends 5.0 millimeter crochet hook, I think it's nice to work with at least 6.0 millimeter crochet hook or 7. I think with bigger crochet hook looks much nicer. I think for a shawl or even a summer blanket, it's really nice, for a baby blanket. This stitch works with multiples of 3 plus 2 more. So I have 12 here, I have multiples of 3, so now I'm gonna chain the 2 more chains. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna skip the first 2 chains, 1, 2, and in the third chain from the hook, yarn over the hook, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna do a half double crochet. You have 3 loops, pull the yarn through all 3 loops, then yarn over the hook. In the same chain where we did this half double crochet, we're gonna do the double crochet. And we're gonna go back into the same chain where we did this half double crochet, and we're gonna do a slip stitch. So you go into the same chain, pull up a loop, and then take this loop and pass it through this one, and that is a slip stitch. Okay, yarn over the hook. We're gonna skip the next 2 chains, 1, 2, and in the third chain we're gonna do the same. We're gonna do a half double crochet first, yarn over the hook. We're gonna go back into the same chain and we're gonna do a double crochet, and then we're gonna go back into the same chain and do a slip stitch. Okay, again, yarn over the hook. We're gonna skip the next 2 chains, 1, 2, and in the third we're gonna do the same, half double crochet first, yarn over the hook, and then we're gonna go back into the same chain and we're gonna do a double crochet, and then we're gonna go back into the same chain and do a slip stitch. So we're gonna put 3 stitches in 1 chain. So yarn over the hook, skip the next 2 chains, 1, 2, and in the third we're gonna do the same. So yarn over the hook, go into that third chain and do first a half double crochet, yarn over the hook, go back again and do a double crochet, and then you're gonna pull the yarn to the last 2 loops, and then we're gonna go back and do a slip stitch. And you're gonna be left with 2 chains, 1, 2. We're gonna skip the next chain, and in the last chain, yarn over the hook, we're gonna do only 1 half double crochet. So pull up a loop, you have 3 loops, pull the yarn through all 3 loops. Then you're gonna chain 2 at the end, turn your work. It's gonna look like this. They're like roses, I don't know, I can't figure out what shape I have. So okay, yarn over the hook, the first stitch here we're gonna do only 1 half double crochet. So go into the first stitch, do a half double crochet. Now we're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and in the third, which the third is the slip stitch from the previous row. It's like you skipping this bumpy rows, let's say, and you go, it's so big that you cannot miss it. Yeah. So yarn over the hook, we're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, and in the third stitch we're gonna do a half double crochet, yarn over the hook, and we're gonna go back into the same stitch and do a double crochet, and we're go back again and do a slip stitch. So this is the row that you're going to repeat on and on and on. One row repeat, that's it. So yarn over the hook, skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and in the third we're going to do the same. We're going to start with we're going to put there the cluster of 1 half double crochet, double crochet in the same stitch, and a slip stitch. Go back again and do a slip stitch. Okay, so yarn over the hook, skip the next 2 stitches, and in the third we're gonna do that cluster of half double crochet, double crochet, and a slip stitch. And now we're gonna skip the next stitch, and in the next yarn over the hook we're gonna do only 1 half double crochet. So we started with half double crochet, we're gonna finish with half double crochet. So chain 2, turn your work, and it looks like this at this moment. So now in the first stitch here, yarn over the hook, we're gonna go into the first stitch and we're gonna do a half double crochet. So now you repeat the row. Okay, yarn over the hook, skip the next 2 stitches, and in the third stitch do the cluster. First half double crochet, into the same stitch we go, do a double crochet, and in the same stitch a slip stitch. So again you're going to skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and in the third we're going to do the same. You're going to start with a half double crochet first, double crochet into the same stitch, and then a slip stitch. Yarn over the hook, skip the next 2 stitches, and in the third stitch we're gonna do the same. We're gonna do the cluster, half double crochet, then into the same stitch double crochet, oopsie, and then a slip stitch into the same stitch. So now you skip this stitch and you have the chain 2. So from now on you're going to go only into the chain 2. So you skip the next stitch, yarn over the hook, and the top second chain there, you're going to go in there and we're going to do a half double crochet, chain 2, turn your work, it looks like this. So now you're going to repeat. I think I'm going to do this row and then I'm going to stop. So yarn over the hook, the first stitch is here, you're going to go into the first stitch and you're going to do a half double crochet. Yarn over the hook, skip the next 2 stitches, and in the third you're going to do the cluster. So half double crochet first, double crochet into the same stitch, and a slip stitch. Yarn over the hook, skip the next 2 stitches, and in the third you're going to do the cluster. Half double crochet, double crochet, and a slip stitch. Yarn over the hook, skip the next 2 stitches, and in the third we put in there the cluster. Half double crochet, double crochet, and a slip stitch. And now you have 1 stitch left and the chain 2. So we're gonna skip the next stitch, and in the chain 2 on top there, yarn over the hook, we're gonna do a half double crochet, chain 2, and now you're gonna repeat. But I think if you work with a bigger crochet hook, I think it's gonna look nicer. It doesn't, if you like this kind of thing, like this, like bumpy things, then you do it maybe with two numbers bigger the crochet hook than the yarn recommends. But if you want a little bit looser, let's say, then you use this, because this yarn, it's asking to use 5.0 millimeter crochet hook, but I did this with 7.0 millimeter crochet hook. But this yarn, the sample that I did, this is asking to use 4.0 millimeter crochet hook, this yarn, and I did this sample also with 7.0, so 3 numbers bigger. So if you like, which one do you like? You like, because this is not so bumpy, this one, the gray one, yeah. is not so bumpy. But this one, because it's just 2 numbers bigger than the yarn recommends the crochet hook, it gets a little bit bumpy. So if you like it like this, a little bit bumpy, then do it maybe a number bigger or 2 numbers bigger. But if you want a little bit looser, then use 3 numbers bigger than the yarn recommends the crochet hook. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Give it a try to this stitch. You can make a wrap, a shawl, whatever you like to do. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it. And it's 1 row repeat. It's very easy, goes really fast. For a blanket, I think, for, you know, with a chunky or a thick, bulky yarn, I think it's really nice, a blanket like this, you know, or even infinity scarf. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.